And lately the two have been seen to grow closer and closer and closer. Looks like it's a move from one ex to another ex. Oh well, such is life. Good morning, Uganda. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. It's a Friday. Thank God it is a Friday. Robert Nyonyintono is with me. And today is a unique day because he is sandwiched between two ladies. Seeing as we are celebrating Women's Day tomorrow, with me in studio is Robert Nyonyintono and Zakia Lucky. Good morning, Robert.
A lovely morning to you. You know, it feels good. Eh? It feels good being between the two ladies, and I feel the power of women.
Good morning, Zakia.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Women's Day is coming up. It's tomorrow.
Yeah, like you can see, I'm already in the Women's Day sense and everything. So I'm excited, especially that we expect gifts on that day. So I look forward to gifts.
Oh,
wait.
I didn't know that we received
I thought that thing ends with Valentine.
Now, it is on Women's Day that you're not cooking. It is on Women's Day that you expect that special treatment as a woman. Yes.
Wow. Did you know that you're supposed to gift, Robert?
Now, when do we benefit as men? When do we? Valentine's, it's us to give. Some of you dodge. We give expensive gifts. Then you bring belts, funny things that don't add up even a quarter of what we've spent. So when do we also, which day is there to give men?
Men's Day in November.
Men's Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why it's called Movember. Yeah, because it's Men's Month.
I'm going to borrow that thing for sure.
But what have you been looking at? What have you been following?
Well, regarding women, first I've been following so many human rights defenders that are women in Uganda. The likes of Miriam Matembe, Honorable Rebecca Kadaga also, Honorable Peace Mutuzo. I don't know, maybe because she's a minister, but she's also very vocal when it comes to issues of women. So in this entire month, I've been looking so much at those women who are in key positions, trying to see, are we just having them filling spaces because they are women? Or are they actually impacting? Is there an impact? When we talk about representation, political levels, right from LC1, Secretary for Women Affairs. So I've been asking myself, when we see the various policies that government has come up with, even in poverty alleviation, if you go to parish development model, you go to every program, there's a percentage ring-fenced for women strictly. So I've been trying to analyze, when you look at the 1.5 given to girls at our institutions of learning. So this women movement, I've been trying to understand, are we really having value? Or are we simply saying, for gender balance, you know, gender balance, let's have a woman. So is she just coming because she's a woman, and is she adding value? Or we are simply saying we need gender balance, yet we are not gaining. And I want to tell you the outcomes of my research, which I'm willing to offer to anyone. The fact is, according to what I've researched and found out, it's a 49. It's a 49. When you go to Parliament and look at those that came on that ring-fenced ticket of district woman member of Parliament, how many of them speak? How many of them can we say this is what we've achieved? Go to LC1, go to district councils, go to all these areas. The truth is, you'll have a 49% value. So I think we still need to do more, that we don't just have women in positions, but the women in these positions have impact. So that we don't just go like we do in politics, that no matter if they have ability or not, as long as it's my party, or the decision is good or not, as long as my party, I have to follow. No.
Perhaps it's a conversation of how then to get women to aggressively take up spaces, to sit at tables and have conversations with men. That is a whole conversation. And as we celebrate women this month, I believe we shall delve deeper into it. But once again, good morning to you, viewer. It's Women's Day tomorrow, so today's show is quite jam-packed with everything women. Looking forward to conversations regarding women empowerment, as empowerment is a part of the theme that is covering this year's Women's Day 2025. But on that note, let us take a look at what is happening on the local scene.
Well, we'll begin with President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who has described his longtime friend, lawyer and politician, the late Eria Katagaya, as an intelligent man who practiced politics with a clear vision. Now, President Museveni shared that he had known Kategaya for 73 years, from their time together in primary school to their collaboration in the struggle for National Resistance Army, NRA, and later in Parliament, where Kategaya served in various cabinet positions. Kategaya passed away in 2013 while serving as the first Deputy Prime Minister of Uganda and Minister for East African Community Affairs. President Museveni attended his memorial lecture as the chief guest. The First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, prayed that the current review of the foreign aid assistance by countries in West does not affect the already negotiated or ongoing human capital development interventions. His Excellency Lisa Chensi, who started her full tour of duty in Uganda in October 2024, was accompanied by Phil Elsk, the team leader of Humanitarian and Human Development Team, together with Ichuma Slivia, the Social Development and Education Lead at the High Commission. Uganda Police Force has requested for an allocation of 2.5 trillion Uganda shillings to fully implement the sub-county policing model. This follows a directive by President Yoweri Museveni to expedite the process to establish a police station in all the sub-counties across the country. The Inspector General of Police, Abbasibya Kagaba, while meeting the Prime Minister at her office in Kampala, said this is what they require to expedite the President's directive. The Directorate of Ethics and Integrity has been grilled over mismanagement of funds. The Directorate, while appearing before the Parliament's Public Accounts Committee, failed to account for 1.9 billion that was paid to 4 individuals on personal accounts in the Directorate as transport and fuel allowance. In the same meeting, the committee discovered impersonation where a non-certified junior accountant signed on financial statements on behalf of the principal accountant without authorization. These were responding to queries raised in the Auditor General's report for the financial year 2023-2024.
Well, looking at what's on the foreign scene, Zelensky hopes Ukraine talks next week will be meaningful. Now, U.S.-Ukraine talks will be held in Saudi Arabia next week, and President Volodymyr Zelensky has said, expressing hopes that it will be a meaningful meeting. The Ukrainian leader, who will be in the Gulf Kingdom but not take part in the talks, said Kyiv was working to reach a fast and lasting peace. U.S. President Donald Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff said the American team wanted to discuss a framework for peace to try to end the Russia-Ukraine war. And last Friday, Zelensky and Trump were involved in a public clash at the White House, during which Trump said Zelensky was not ready to end the fighting. The U.S. proceeded to pause military aid to Ukraine and stop sharing intelligence. The Ukrainian president has expressed regret about the incident and tried to repair relations with the U.S., the country's biggest military supplier. On Thursday, Witkoff said Trump had received a letter from Zelensky that included an apology and sense of gratitude. Interesting, but still matters. Trump and United States President Donald Trump has announced a 1-month reprieve from 25% tariffs for goods covered under the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement. While Trump has postponed tariffs for some products until April 2nd, Canada has indicated that its retaliatory tariffs will remain in place for now, though it delayed a second wave of levies. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff has announced U.S. and Ukrainian officials will come together in Saudi Arabia next week. And U.S. House of Representatives have also approved a formal rebuke for Democratic lawmaker Al Green for disrupting Trump's speech. But also still matters Trump. Trump has signed an executive order declaring March Irish American Heritage Month. And the order continues as an annual tradition that began with former U.S. President George W. Bush in 1991 and was carried on by each of his successors. Now, looking at the Nigerian Senate, Nigerian lawmakers have suspended a senator for 6 months after she submitted a petition alleging she had been sexually harassed by the Senate president. Natasha Akpoti-Ugodan first made accusations against one of the country's top politicians, Godswill Akpabio, in an interview last Friday. After dismissing her petition on procedural grounds, the Ethics Committee recommended Ugodan's suspension, saying she had brought ridicule to the upper chamber of the National Assembly. Some senators argued that her suspension be cut to 3 months, but a majority voted to stick with the 6-month suspension recommended by the Ethics Committee. Now, women's rights activist Hadiza Ado told the BBC that Senator Ugodan's suspension was a sad day for Nigerian women. Ugodan afterwards described her suspension as an injustice that will not be sustained. She vowed to continue her pursuit for justice over her treatment. The accusations have dominated discussions across Nigeria since she first made them nearly a week ago. And many highly placed people and groups have called for a transparent investigation.
Yes.
Now, as women, we are empowered, but I hope we also use the opportunity given to be empowered to also promote justice and not cause infernos and problems to the male gender that God has provided to protect us. On that note, let us also enjoy the inspirational song of the day from a woman, a powerful woman of Uganda. But before we even do that, let's hear from the press.
In today's headlines, 100 convicted over undeclared wealth. Museveni names team to investigate Kisache. How governors burnt shillings 6.6 billion on joyrides, and why the shillings rally against dollar was short-lived. That's all we had.
All right. That's it from the New Vision. And looking at what's in more of the press, there is Daily Monitor. Daily Monitor has Museveni names team to investigate Kisache. There on the first page, that the now exiled Justice Esther Kisache and the judiciary have an axe to grind is public knowledge since the presidential election petition in 2021. And now President Museveni has named a team to separate facts from fiction. That is on page 6 of the Daily Monitor.
And in the Citizen, experts bank on tech for sustainable oil gas exploration, and Susan Namondo's call for women to take the lead in development as of Rising Woman.
In the Daily Nation, how governors burnt 6.6 billion shillings on joy rides. That is a story in the Daily Nation. 10 countries had the most traveling delegations, collectively spending about 2.4 billion. And there are pictures of some of the government delegates and the monies spent on them. But also, which way is Raila is a story, top story on the pictorial there of the Daily Nation, and more of it is on page 6. But also, lobby back CJ Kome, top judges fight against JSC, and more of that story is on page 2 of the Daily Nation. And looking at matters education, still in the Daily Nation, chalks replace bullets in North Rift as schools become peace beacons. That story is on page 23 of the Daily Nation. And David Maraga, this is how I would govern differently. Former Chief Justice says that the state of the country is bad due to rampant corruption. vowing to fight graft and uphold the rule of law if he is given an opportunity to lead. And more of that story is on page 7 of the Daily Nation. And that's it from the press. Now let us be inspired this Friday morning by a powerful woman in the music industry of Uganda, and that is Irene Namubiru with the song Mpulira.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
March. It is a time to reflect on progress made, to call for change and to celebrate acts of courage and determination play by women. On Saturday, 8th March, Uganda will join the rest of the world to commemorate International Women's Day. The national celebrations will be held in Chankwanzi district.
Now, as we continue to bleat about the current heat wave, well, it looks like we shall continue to bleat them more because there is an upcoming rain wave, and this is simply normal or above normal amounts of rainfall in most parts of Uganda, but also peak rainfall is expected between the month of May and the beginning of May, but also the month of April. And increased pests and diseases are also expected in monocrop zones as well as vegetable farms. But because it's a Friday, Good Morning Uganda, on lighter sides and lighter notes, let's look at Ben Affleck, a major entertainer, actor, Oscar Award winner, as well as movie producer, who is expecting to produce a project, an upcoming project, but he is looking forward to cast his ex-wife, Jennifer Garner. And lately the two have been seen to grow closer and closer and closer. Looks like it's a move from one ex to another ex. Oh well, such is life. Good morning, Uganda. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. It's a Friday. Thank God it is a Friday. Robert Nyonyintono is with me, and today is a unique day because he is sandwiched between two ladies, seeing as we are celebrating Women's Day tomorrow. With me in studio is Robert Nyonyintono and Zakia Lucky. Good morning, Robert.
A lovely morning to you. You know, it feels good. Eh? It feels good being between the two ladies, and I feel the power of women.
Good morning, Zakia.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Women's Day is coming up. It's tomorrow.
Yeah, like you can see, I'm already in the Women's Day scenes and everything. So I'm excited, especially that we expect gifts on that day. So I look forward to gifts.
Oh,
wait.
I didn't know
I thought that thing ends with Valentine.
Now, it is on Women's Day that you're not cooking. It is on Women's Day that you expect that special treatment as a woman. Yes.
Wow. Did you know that you're supposed to gift, Robert?
Now, when do we benefit as men? When do we? Valentine's, it's us to give. Some of you dodge. We give expensive gifts. Then you bring belts, funny things that don't add up even a quarter of what we've spent. So when do we also? Which day is there to give men?
Men's Day in November.
Men's Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why it's called Movember. Yeah, because it's Men's Month.
I'm going to borrow that thing for sure.
But what have you been looking at? What have you been following?
Well, regarding women, first I've been following so many human rights defenders that are women in Uganda. The likes of Miriam Matembe, Honorable Rebecca Kadaga also, Honorable Peace Mutuzo. I don't know, maybe because she's a minister, but she's also very vocal when it comes to issues of women. So in this entire month, I've been looking so much at those women who are in key positions, trying to see, are we just having them filling spaces because they are women? Or are they actually impacting? Is there an impact? When you talk about representation, political levels, right from LC1, Secretary for Women Affairs. So I've been asking myself, when we see the various policies that government has come up with, even in poverty alleviation, if you go to parish development model, you go to every program, there's a percentage ring-fenced for women strictly. So I've been trying to analyze, when you look at the 1.5 given to girls at our institutions of learning. So this women movement, I've been trying to understand, are we really having value? Or are we simply saying, for gender balance, gender balance, let's have a woman. So is she just coming because she's a woman and is she adding value? Or we are simply saying we need gender balance?
a world where every story matters. There exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, every story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources such as inspirational profiles.
Having a disability is not inability.
Every Friday 9 p.m. it's one-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
Don't you see anywhere that you would give a credit in the fight against COVID?
My role as the owner of the country is not to, be preoccupied by giving credit to my servant.
We have said that if we are to talk to General Museveni, there must be certain conditions in place.
Is it true that you paid 5 million shillings to MPs that voted for?
Was brought to you by
just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting it. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, Inspiring Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda. Good morning, Uganda. Thank you so much for choosing to join UBC TV. My name is Julie F. Nantawa Musisi. And while we have a conversation still celebrating women, Women's Week, Women's Day, Women's Month, allow me also inform you, because we are here to inspire Uganda, inform you on that traffic advisory from the Ministry of Ministry of Works and Transport, that there's a planned installation of expansion joints on Karuma Bridge along the Kampala-Gulu Highway and Ayago Bridge on Karuma Oluyo Road. Following last year's closure for urgent repairs, Karuma Bridge was partially reopened on 20th December 2024 for only light vehicles to ease travel during the festive season. To complete these essential works, the Ministry of Works and Transport wishes to announce the installation of expansion joints on Karuma Bridge starting 10th March to 31st March 2025 to ensure long-term stability and full traffic restoration. As a result, the bridge will be closed to all traffic. This period will also be used to install expansion joints on Anyago Bridge, Karuma Oluyo Road, whose expansion joints have been damaged due to fatigue. Alternative routes to Kampala, Gulu, or West Nile via Luero, Kafu, Masindi, Para, Makison Falls National Park, Pakwach Ogulu via Oluyo, and vice versa. To Kampala, Lira via Iganga, Nakalama, Tirinyi, Palisa Kumi, Soroti, Lira, and vice versa. Motorists to Lira can also use the Renkunye, a park route via Masindi Port Ferry. And we appreciate your understanding and regret and inconvenience caused. All from Honorable Edward Katumba Wamala, Minister of Works and Transport. Now, hopefully you have taken note of that and you'll be able to plan better. But once again, good morning to you. Allow me to greet you once again and wish you a happy Friday, where we're looking forward to Women's Day tomorrow, the 8th of March. And as has been the whole week, we have been celebrating women, looking at women taking charge and taking mantles in the different sectors, major sectors in the country of Uganda. And today is not any different, because we still have a powerful woman in studio today to talk to us still about women affairs. She is Shekat Radia Namakula, and she is the Secretary of Women and Children Affairs at the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. We're having a beautiful conversation with her as a woman, as a man who supports and empowers women. Please be a part of this. The WhatsApp number is 0709 602 592. Good morning, Shekat.
Good
morning.
Walaikum salam.
How are you? I am well. How is the Ramadan so far?
It's so smooth, but the weather is not so
I know,
good.
yes.
Yeah, we are moving on.
Yes. Right before we came on, you were telling me some of the advantages. There's the saving.
Time management.
Yes.
We are perfect always. During Ramadan, we manage our time better than other times. There's a lot of saving, there's sharing.
Oh, yes.
There is reconciliation. There's, it's a good season that we really cherish so much.
And there's a lot of blessings.
Yeah, we really bless others, and we are always blessed. Yeah.
Now, please introduce yourself fully in your capacity.
Dear good listeners, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shekat Radia Namakula, the Secretary for Women and Children Affairs at Uganda Muslim Supreme Council headquarters. In Supreme Council, a Secretary for is equivalent to a minister, because we have structures from the headquarters to the regions, to the counties, to the districts, to the counties, and to the mosque. So it's a small government that is running, and I've done. But I'm from the academia background, and I'm happy to be here. Moreover, in the Women's Month, Women's Week, and Ramadan above all.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Because you are the Secretary for Women and Children Affairs.
Yes.
What is your role at the Uganda Supreme Council?
In broad terms, my roles are two: advocacy and empowerment. Those are the broad areas that I handle. We advocate for women's space. You're aware of the religious views about women. Religions are so specific. I mean, all religions. And we need some extra effort to advocate for equal opportunities. We advocate for women in leadership, for women to share, for women what and that. And then empowerment, because if you advocate and you get maybe the positions that you want, you need that empowerment to carry them on well. And there are other constitutional responsibilities that I do. Under empowerment, I empower women religiously. We call it Dawa. We propagate Islam, we teach them their rights in Islam and their roles. That's part of the bigger empowerment. And then lobbying also, we lobby with government to look at us maybe as, I'll not say a hard to reach community, but a community that has been a bit backward for some time, and it is clearly seen that we are not moving at the same pace with our Christian counterparts, but we are getting there. All those are my roles, and I do it through the regional leadership, the district leadership, the county leadership, and the mosque leadership. You are aware that we have 15,000 mosques across the country registered with Supreme Council. We have 600 counties. We have 82 Muslim districts. We have 10 Muslim regions. So that's how we work. Yeah.
Very interesting. Now, as someone who had her high school in a Muslim community,
yes,
there, as an outsider, there are things I experienced, watched, and studied.
That's good.
You know, and many questions I had, but of course they never got to be answered because I was just a student and maybe I had no one to...
You had limits.
I had limits in regards to questioning.
I appreciate
so
that.
I know there are many people who are like me and need to be educated.
Yes.
And thank God that you are here to educate us.
Yeah.
With your role at the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, how are you educating masses to support women?
Masses in general?
How,
the general public?
The general public. But let's start with, how are you empowering women to know what their rights are? And after that, we'll also look at how you are empowering men.
Yeah, I think the best empowerment that you can give a Muslim woman is to teach her about Islam. Because until recently, those courses were predominantly male courses. You have seen so many sheikhs since we were born, and sheikhs are just coming up.
In fact, I saw sheikhs in my school.
Yeah, sheikhs are coming up, and actually we have even an association that unites us. So there was a mindset, a stereotype mindset, that women shouldn't be sheikhs in the first place. And whenever you talk about Islam and you are not well versed with it, you'll feel guilty somehow. Maybe you are offending your God, or you are transgressing. So when you have the knowledge, that is the first empowerment. And for us at a lower level, we have what we call mosque darasas, lessons in the mosques, especially on Fridays. After Juma, women sit from 2 to 4. That's that moment, those 2 hours, you will find almost countrywide women are learning about their religion. But there's also another important thing that we need to know, that if you educate the women, sometimes when they take the message to the men, maybe the husbands for that matter, some husbands think that they are getting spoiled. You are becoming too much and you are getting bad friends, and because they don't expect them to know. So that's why in most of the cases we grab any opportunity that is media oriented to be accountable. I know UBC will broadcast this, it will put it on YouTube, so that women are not blamed for whatever idea that they may take home from our sheikhs or sheikhats. So we empower whenever we get a chance. We empower, but I have not the Friday darasas. We have women's seminars during Ramadan at district level. That is mandatory. You are also aware that I'm Secretary for Women and Children Affairs, but also we have children's seminars during holidays, so that the next generation becomes better than the one we are living with. So we empower women and children to know their rights and rights of others, and know their religion without also undermining the laws of the land.
Wow. We are celebrating women in religious leadership.
Oh, wow.
We are celebrating women in religious leadership.
Yes.
That is why we have Shekat Radia Namakula. She is the Secretary of Women and Children Affairs at the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. And thus far, she has at least painted a picture of what it's like to empower and advocate for women and children in the Islamic religion, to help you understand how to empower a woman, how to help her be that her God created her for. Now, if you want to be a part of this conversation, send your WhatsApp message to 0709602592. Shekat Radia, as a woman in leadership, I believe there are challenges. What have you faced so far?
Challenges, of course, the guilt that the public creates whenever you talk about religion. They want you to believe that you are guilty. You are going into a field that is supposed to be for men. That patriarchy is in the minds of everybody, including the women you are empowering. You can also, for example, tell them that this verse is found in Quran chapter this, and it is giving you this right. And because you're a woman, sometimes you are more educated than the sheikhs, the male sheikhs. But because you're a woman, the people you want to empower can tell you that, but you know, Sheikh so and so told us this, maybe this lady wants us to be bad women. And actually when they mention a certain name, he's either a former student of yours, because I did lecturing Islamic studies in Islamic University in Uganda. I did lecturing for quite long, and some of the sheikhs they mentioned, they were so junior to you. So that's a very big challenge. Like, you want to empower somebody, but she feels she doesn't deserve the empowerment that you are giving her. It is a very serious challenge. Then, of course, the numbers, we are very few. We are still few, the sheikhs. Then the male dominancy that is characterizing religious circles. And sometimes you are alone among the 20s and the 30s of tens and thousands of men. So you need a lot of confidence building and be focused. You should know what you want exactly. Because in empowering women and the challenges that we face, what we need is in the hands of men. That's what we need to know. We need to explain to them that just look at this. The empowerment that I want is for your daughter, because you also have a daughter. Let them be convinced first. You don't snatch it away, you don't grab it by force. So the challenge of women not knowing that they deserve what I'm telling you, but also men of not being used to women who quote the Quran maybe and claim politely and humbly and objectively, they claim for their share in religious institutions, has been quite a very big challenge. Then, of course, inadequate funding. That is common. Sometimes you have bigger dreams, but you know, You may not achieve them because of lack of funding. And sometimes we look at ourselves that maybe we are served the last. If the resources are scarce, then you are not really a priority, I have to say. And I work with the Interfaith Women of Uganda. We have a forum, an association that where we meet like all religions, but we have common challenges of funding, common challenges of recognition. Sometimes they introduce everybody and they forget you. So you shouldn't get annoyed so quickly because you have a bigger dream that you want to achieve. So we have all the patience to get there, and we think Allah may give us to see what we strived for, but we don't mind even if it's given to other generations. So those challenges are quite emotional. Sometimes they really touch your nerve and you feel so nervous.
Yes.
But you know, we know what you want, and it's not easy. This thing has been there for long. It cannot go in one day. So the challenges are there. And even the public, sometimes you say Sheikhat and they look at you, Sheikhat, what does it mean? Until I say, I'm a female sheikh. I'm a female sheikh. Oh, Sheikhat is a female sheikh, yes. Then you empower people, you get used slowly by slowly. And by now, the term Sheikhat, I have to say, is not, it's becoming a household thing. And I claim for a bigger share in that as a contribution for making it a common word. Yeah.
Wow, that is a journey you have walked. And indeed, let's celebrate you for paving way for the younger ones.
Thank you for celebrating me.
Because there are many I know who are stepping into your shoes in the near future, and they will attribute it to the
We are doing that. We are doing that empowerment. And we want to appear in the open spaces like media so that maybe the target may not be actually empowered, but the young one, they say, I want to do what Sheikhat is doing. And I have many voices telling me that, and I really welcome them.
Yes. If you are just joining the conversation, we are celebrating women this month. We have been celebrating women this whole week, and we continue to celebrate them. Tomorrow is Women's Day.
Oh yeah.
And in studio with me is Sheikhat Radia Namakula. She is the Secretary for Women and Children Affairs at the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, and we are having this conversation with her as we celebrate women in leadership spaces when it comes to religion. Now, you've talked about the challenges, but I know you also have success stories. Are there any success stories that you can point out?
Quite many.
Yes, please.
The stigma is lowering now. The stigma was just too sharp the time I started this work.
Yes.
And the stigma is coming down, and the people are accepting us. People have come to know that the empowerment that I've been singing about is all about their daughters, it's all about their sisters, it's about their mothers. The stigma is lowered now. The other success story are the structures, because when I was given that office, we had the Supreme Council that time was 44 years old without women structures. So in the last 9 years, we have those structures that I've told you. Wherever now me at the headquarters, we have what we call a management committee, like a cabinet, and I'm a member. I'm still alone, but we are empowering other people in the structures. And now that cabinet is chaired by the Mufti now. Now the Mufti is representative at the region, is the regional Qadi or regional assistant to the Mufti. There is a woman there. At the district, you have the district Qadis, there is a woman there. At the Twala, you have the county sheikh, there is a woman there, and the mosque. So women were, with or without structures, women were doing propagating and attending mosque programs, but now we are formally there. It was not easy. I had to move the whole country to swear in the women leaders. And it has given me an opportunity, by the way, to physically know Uganda border to border. It's one personal thing that I've really earned. And I have friends all over the country. I have connections, I have networks that is bigger. Then the other opportunity, I was blessed to be a commissioner on the Constitutional Review Commission of the Supreme Council. It's one thing that I can tell you in one sentence, that it was a success story, my life success story in my career. Because I advocated, okay, some did not go through, but we said, I was advocating that now I'm in the cabinet, for example, but we need women in the legislature, the way government runs, we need women in the judiciary, and I succeeded. We now have a UMSC Women Council. We have a deputy director for Sharia, a woman. That is our judiciary. So those are things that you fight for maybe desperately, and you think maybe it will come maybe after 100 years, but when you see them, it's a surprise from God, and it's really joy, and you see it trickling even down to lower structures. I've also got another opportunity of working with the Interreligious Council of Uganda. That Interfaith Women of Uganda network is a big thing. We really know how Catholic Church runs its affairs as far as women are concerned. We know the norms of the Anglican Church. We have the Orthodox. We have the Seventh Day. We have the Pentecostals. And we are really mothers of the nation. When we talk about social matters, social services, our voices are heard. So it has been an opportunity, and you are aware of the good relationship between Uganda Muslim Supreme Council and the government of Uganda. It has given me chance to be recognized by government, and maybe sometimes they even seek for my views when it comes to Muslim women. And a lot of advocacy goes on, and a lot of recommendations that I make to advocate for Muslim women in space in the public sector. And I'm proud of that. And I say, who is me now if I've achieved this? So the opportunities are also quite much. And, you know, there's no more stigma now, because by the time I started working in Supreme Council, the masses, you know, the general public was even demonizing women. Who brought a woman here? Like, you enter and you should really explain why you are here.
Yes.
But now we have women as administrative assistants, not so much higher, but it's no longer a thing to discuss. And even senior members of staff can bring their daughters to work with us. I mentor many of them. I go to districts and really solve problems. And now I empower my structures with teaching them the constitutional rights that we...
That is very, very empowering indeed.
Yeah.
And allow me to ask you, because we know that you are a married woman.
Yes.
You are a leader.
Yeah.
You are a mother.
Yeah.
How do you balance all of that?
Balancing career and family.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm married to Mr. Musa Moses Lukuya for the last 26 years. I'm a mother of 5, and I have other children in the home. I have a big family that I do pastoral work. I balance. One of the things that I really urge mothers to do is we call it okwesasira. We're always kind to ourselves. We are so kind, sometimes unnecessarily, to ourselves. And this thing, if you have a career and you have a family, you stop kwesasira.
You have to take the bull by its horns.
By its horns, gloves off, face the world.
Their knuckles.
You should know how many hours you should sleep, what time you should wake up. At least my children have now grown up. But there's that time, those first 10 years where you have one following another and the like. And, you know, you are responsible for their presence. I mean, why do you make them suffer? So if you kwesasira, you cannot have both. That's why women in most cases say, you know, I just for my career. Family is not a big thing to me. I'm telling you, family is a ministry that you need to administer very, very well. And I've managed that because I don't question, and I manage my time. By the way, if you do it well, even you, if you do it well, you find working women preparing food in time faster than the women who stay at home, because they don't have time to waste. They reach home, they prepare this, they give the children, take the children to school, and the like. Then other people to help you will come in when you're already doing it. So we have helpers in the homes, like we call them housemaids. Sometimes they come, when you bring them and orient them, they have that tendency of thinking that without me, that one with her English, she cannot even peel. So don't give away a role before you try it. That is my advice. Learn how to cook, then cook well, then tell somebody to cook for you. If she's not there, you do it. If she delays, you fasten it. So me, I've left that question. Then you pray for your health, because you need to be healthy 24/7. And then you have good network. For example, you should have that somebody you call when the child is very sick and you are not in the home, you are in the field. You should have that clinic where they rush the child to. You should have a police contact in case you need it. You should have the key sectors. You must have contact. And then lastly, you should really be well versed with what you do. If you need refresher courses, do them so that you don't gamble. This is a field that is dominated by men, and the first sight people think she's just gambling. Maybe she's because a daughter to the boss, or they expect you to be on another ticket. So you should really know what you want, sing the same song, and be serious and do it well. Whatever you do, do it well.
Well said. Well said. A word to our wise is always enough. With that remark, with that advice, thank you so much,
you're welcome,
Adi and Namakula, for coming through. Thank you so much for your advice. It's been so empowering. I believe as a woman, a career woman, you have been empowered that you have to take the bull by its horn. Go bare knuckles, but also first experience the things that you want others to do for you. If you need help, first learn how to cook, first learn how to do that work for yourself, and then employ someone else to do it the way you want it. As we continue, allow me to read a comment from somebody, Kenneth Adonis from Chisoro, who says, hello, a very good morning to that elite lady in studio. That is Kenneth.
Chisoro, I greet you. There is Hadija, who is my representative. Hadija, please take care.
Wow.
I was telling you that in the process I learned so many things.
Yes, please.
I do typing. If my secretary is not there and I need a letter, I do the typing. Sometimes I don't need a driver. I drive.
You drive yourself?
That's a skill that I developed. I bake. I know laundry. I do my own things. So they call it what? Do it yourself.
Oh, yes.
DIY.
Yes, do it yourself.
Yeah.
DIY.
It's not it's not a punishment to you, but you learn. Now my typing speed is higher, computer skills and what. And,
and it's, you remind me, yesterday we hosted a very young lady here in studio. Young girl, S2.
Girl.
Yes, and she is into construction, you know, the skilling part of school. She is into construction, but she also expressed the same message. She said
I salute her.
Yes, she said as ladies, we should stop being lazy. She termed it as being lazy. We are all the time having reasons.
You know, sometimes it doesn't work. Even if when you're pregnant, you work until that time you think, no, my health is under threat. You request for leave, but some people, they want to rest for 9 months and it can't work.
Yet you have to be active. Yes. If you want to be a part of the conversation, 0709 602592 is the number, the WhatsApp number that you send your contribution, your opinion to. As we celebrate women this week, In studio with me is Sheikhat Radia Namakula. She is the Secretary for Women and Children Affairs at the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. And I'm having major take-homes from her so far. Somebody comes through. This is Nawide Rebecca, who says, good morning.
Wow.
Thank you for the program. I also needed that. She needed to hear what you're saying.
Wow.
And she has been blessed. She comes from Nila, Ginger. So, I understand you've met many people, like you've mentioned a couple of names. How have you impacted, how have you been able to peer through the different women that you meet? Like you mentioned earlier that for some women it's hard to convince them that they must take this space up.
Yeah.
For some, I think it's easier.
It's a blessing.
Yes.
They really embrace it.
Yes. So for those with whom you have been successful, how easy has it been to peer through their hearts to convince them that this is a space they must take?
Yeah, one is the level of education is really key. You find that a level of education makes life easier if you deal with somebody more educated than the previous one. Then that one grabs the idea. He understands you, is open-minded, and takes up what you offer for them. And I've also been part, because some arguments I do it in front of men.
Yes.
And in male-dominated conference rooms, I present papers. By the way, I'm a public speaker. I present papers, I quote, I argue out things, I answer questions that may arise. And when they see you doing it, they know, hey, we thought maybe you wanted to exploit us, but no, she's doing it. So being an example of what you preach is key. And then extremism. Sometimes we go into extremism. I avoid being an extremist in everything that I do. That's why I've managed even to be a career family person. So you don't overdo something. Sometimes we have, for example, we have meetings that take maybe forums that we take that meet once in a year. If some idea is not accepted by the majority, you hold on until next year and repackage. So
you know what I'm learning from that? I'm learning that as women, we are not even supposed to take away our nature from the space that we are dominating.
Don't lose that feminism.
Yes.
You don't need to be a man to work with men. You don't need to be in that denial that, you know, we are equal. No, we are not even similar. The thing is, I want recognition the way I am. You don't have to be maybe fixing a bulb in the office to show that you are as good as a man. Yes. No, that's not what we need. You need to be yourself, but emphasize your point and really know what you are advocating for. Sometimes we don't have enough knowledge, and we just copy something and paste it, and you can't defend it. So at times I'm a good reader. I read a lot about something that may come. I read. Like I know if UPC may invite me now, do I go to the library and read? No, I don't need to know the questions. So going back to the question of how people have grabbed the opportunities that I've offered, by one, I've been an example of what I preach, and I speak the same language, and I don't get tired of preaching it. Then the other thing is that I've embraced people the way they are. For example, we have structures in Karamoja, and I have a good network in Moroto, and then Kotido, and then Kitgum, and that area. The Muslims are few in those areas. And now when you reach there, you cannot manage penetrating their hearts and minds. Before you look like them, first accept them. If they sit down, first sit down with them. If they eat from the kitchen, eat from the kitchen, and let them know that you are not an angel from heaven. So I've been exposed, by the way, to many cultures, which I really appreciate. And sometimes as an academician, I ask them, why do you do this? They say, no, when you don't do this, it doesn't work. And so you first humility. And when you find me sometimes in more conservative communities, people just introduce me. They say, Shekat, you are here, what are you doing here? But the people I'm working with don't know that I'm this higher. So you need that humility to work with the different people and personalities that may sometimes even doubt you. We had, for example, that relationship of religious frictions and in the past, which we have killed. There's no friction. But you know, at first, people used to think, you know, a Muslim woman, they don't even shake your hand. So you lower down yourself, explain your mission, and be consistent, and be an example of what you preach. People will definitely embrace you because you have to answer all their questions.
We are celebrating women in
tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow is Women's Day, and in particular today we are celebrating women
in
leaders in religion. And in studio with me, just in case you are just joining, it's Shekat Radia Namakula. She is the Secretary of Women and Children Affairs at the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. If you have a question for her, if you are inspired by her words, if you have something to ask her, if you have an opinion to share as to what she has said thus far, 0709-602-592 is the WhatsApp number to which you can send whatever is on your mind, and we'll be able to read it and share it with her, as well as her sharing and pouring into you. And you being a teacher,
yes,
you also interface with
proud one.
A very proud teacher. Are there people you've inspired into teaching?
Many, including mostly I inspired the students that I used to teach. I inspired them because it was mainly education courses. And many students, when they graduate, they say, oh, the teachers are always broke and what, they leave the profession.
Yes.
The first thing I could tell them, at least be in the profession a minimum of 10 years, then do other your dream things. I've inspired those ones. Then others, they just see me and say, how do you make it? You are very tolerant with people's characters. I say that's a benefit of the education course. And I urge, I think if it was possible, every woman should have had maybe a certificate in education, because women, we find ourselves dealing with numbers, transitions, different psychology levels. We find ourselves to be leaders when we are not even trained. So education is a course that I really am proud of, and I've really benefited a lot from being a teacher in terms of tolerance, accommodative, innovative. I'm proud of it. So I've inspired some. Just look at me and I tell them the secret behind that battery behind me. What makes you tolerate somebody who looks at you like that? Say, because I'm a teacher, I just want him to learn. And some people do behave in a certain way because of a knowledge gap, and I bridge the gap. I teach you until you learn. I don't care whether it takes you a year or a minute or a month or what, until you learn. That's the Islamic approach to teaching. You teach somebody until he learns. You don't specify duration of the course, no. So I use that approach, and it has really helped me a lot.
Now, as a teacher, I understand you definitely, obviously, interface with students who are female.
Yes.
How have you empowered them?
My lectures, those who attended my lectures, were so impactful to the extent that the male students whom I taught went ahead and empowered the females around them. Now, if the males could do that, how about the females? I taught in the Islamic University in Uganda between 2000 and 2009. Between 98 and 2009. And all those batches of students in the field, some are head teachers, some are police officers, RDCs, and what. So I want to, by the way, the women empowerment that we need to empower the men to empower the women. Because what the women want is in the hands of men. Until they are convinced, they will never release it.
Yes.
So you explain to a man that, look, you are missing out to this. You are not getting us we are not doing the way we are supposed to do because you are holding on to this. And if they start the evangelism, you bring men on board, the women will even stop that feeling that they are guilty. You know, it is the man who even gave us this idea. I salute those sheikhs who are empowering women. I salute the sheikhs who are teaching the women their rights, but also their responsibilities. Before it was responsibility only.
Yeah.
And we crushed that. We crushed that. So the women are empowered if they want. If they don't want, I'm always patient with them because they need it. Sooner or later, they will come and learn.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing the impact. Myself, I'm seeing the impact is really there.
Are there daughters, because they become your children ultimately, are there daughters in particular that you see in major mainstream spaces, big platforms influencing in Uganda, and you know that was
I'm
my
proudly
student?
mentioning Vuzeki Sharifa.
Ooh, wow.
the executive director, KCCA.
Yes.
She's my junior. I was her mentor. I proudly mention a few judges whom I will not mention, magistrates and judges in the High Court. They are coming up in the legal fraternity. I have many of them. I have many head teachers heading public schools. People in Irueru, there's a school in Irueru, there's a school in Busoga. There are so many head teachers who really went through my own hands. Police, I taught one guy, I don't think I'll offend him if I mention his name. His name was Bakaleke something, and I don't remember the second name. He's very proud of me. I have town clerks. Some are men, some are female.
Yes.
But my messages right from day one, I had a belief that you cannot empower a woman to go and snatch and grab her right from a man. You must prepare the man to release this share to the woman. So I like mixed audiences.
Not a competition.
I want mixed audiences to appreciate each other. This thing of saying I teach only women, I now stopped it. I teach men and women because they find it hard, even if they are proud within themselves, they find it hard to claim for it. So I like mixed audiences, and I really thank UBC for hosting me because it is watched by the whole world. When I shared the what? How do you call it?
The flyer?
The flyer.
Yes.
I have a class that I teach in the diaspora. I teach them once in a month, and they are following. They said, we have to be there, I have to leave everything and listen to that. So I empower men and women in order to have a better Uganda. I prepare people to be good leaders, good husbands, good wives, good children, good bosses. You don't need to separate women from men as you empower the whole world. That's my approach.
0709 602 592 is the WhatsApp number to which you can share your opinion. Good morning, Julie and Shekat. I'm Chigwe Livingstone from Luwezandeje Division. Some ladies are very strong and resilient, despite the fact that society looks at them as naturally weak. By the way, even in your faith, you say women are seen as weak vessels. But I thank those iron ladies like Shekat who stand to be hardworking and support their families and the nation at large.
Wow, thank you, Livingstone.
Yes, from Luwezandeje. He says, thank you. So like Livingstone and like all the comments we have read so far, you can be a part of the conversation. 0709 602 592. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shekat,
wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi.
Barakallahu fikum.
Wa fikum barakallah.
Our own Minister, Secretary for Women and Children. The Secretary for Women and Children Affairs, Masindi District.
Wow. Masindi, how are you?
This must be Ziyada.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have seen my structures. And I'm reacting to Livingstone's comment,
yes.
Women being weak vessels, because people define strengths as being physically energetic and what. But the definition is the one that we need to really redefine. We need to redefine energy.
Educate us
on like that. Energy in some differs from one area to another. A person who carries a baby for 9 years,
9 months,
9 months, is uncomparable. We have women in the villages. You find a pregnant woman carrying a baby on her back, carrying a 5-liter jerrycan in her hand, putting a band of firewood on her head, or matoke. We are really not weak vessels, but it depends on how we define energy or strength. But in this era of technology, ICT and the like, that physical fighting is not, even bombing, people bomb through computers. So I want to redefine the energy to each one of you, that you may be strong, you may be, strength may be soft or hard, hardware form or software form. We have seen women doing very well in academia, very well in the judiciary, very well in politics. And I really salute President Museveni, because Uganda, not even the Western world can compare themselves to us the way our women are empowered. We have the Vice President, we have the Speaker of Parliament, we have the Prime Minister, we have women all over. So we are really strong, but if you define strength by carrying rocks, then you are mistaken. But if you define strength by results,
yes,
like producing a baby, giving birth to a human being,
and nurturing that human being,
and nurturing that human being who may become a president tomorrow,
yes,
then define strength by results, not by method. I submit.
That is very profound. I believe Livingstone that has taught you. So in a minute, Women's Day is tomorrow, and the theme is Accelerate Action, focusing on the importance of taking swift and decisive steps to achieve gender equality. How are we celebrating it tomorrow? How do you advise that we celebrate it as a nation tomorrow? In just a minute.
In a minute, I advise each one of us, including myself, to accelerate. Because Uganda as a country, we really embraced gender equity. We have tried, we are doing it, but we need to speed up what we do, because when we delay it, the cost is really too much. I want to salute those women in uniform.
Yes.
I really advocate for rights of women in uniform. UPDF, please don't misquote me. Promote those women to those higher ranks in the army. And I really don't feel shy to mention it. Women in police, women in the prisons service, please accelerate. The army is not doing well in gender equity as far as, okay, the recruitment is there, but the promotion, I don't see them. Maybe they're working in silence, but please make them visible. And then we accelerate, this one goes to the parents, gender roles and what and what and what. Accelerate it. Parents, please let your female and male children know and recognize each other's gender. You don't need to be the other gender. You don't need to be transgender or what. You need to be yourself and really claim for your space, because that space is there. You'll be very, very useful. So accelerate it. Bosses, I salute you, those who have done it, but please let us move up to speed.
Take up the speed.
In particular, women in uniform, I advocate that they are promoted.
Yes.
But you women also do what it takes to be promoted.
Well said. Well said. Allow me to close this conversation with good morning, great mothers in the stadium. Okay, in the studio, I think that's what you meant. I'm Haggai Romanzo, team from Dokolo. Madam Secretary is really God-gifted about counseling and mentoring so many young girls, women, and men, because she is self-determined and allows and sees successful things ahead of her struggles.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Dokoro,
yes.
Good morning.
This is a way of saying thank you so much for
Wow.
talking to us, educating us, and impacting Uganda.
Thank you for being good learners.
Yes.
I wish you a very successful Women's Day ahead of you.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Uganda does continue, and Zakia Lucky is also having a very powerful conversation on women in tourism.
Wow.
So stay tuned.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Of the day on UBC.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources such as inspirational profiles.
Having disability is not inability.
Every Friday 9 p.m. it's one-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
Don't you see anywhere that you would give a credit in the fight against COVID?
My role as the owner of the country is not to, be preoccupied by giving credit to my servant.
We have said that if we are to talk to General Museveni, there must be certain conditions in place.
Is it true that you paid 5 million shillings to MPs that voted for?
Was brought to you by
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hustle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're so tingy. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
International Women's Day is celebrated annually on 8th March. It is a time to reflect on progress made, to call for change, and to celebrate acts of courage and determination play by women. On Saturday, 8th March, Uganda will join the rest of the world to commemorate International Women's Day. The national celebrations will be held in Changwanzi district under the theme Accelerate Action for Gender Equality. The President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will be the chief guest. Join us for the live broadcast to witness outstanding women receive medals in recognition of their achievements and contributions to the country. Happy Women's Day.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Uganda, haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
It's a special morning, especially to every woman in tourism. Good morning and thank you for joining us on the GMU Tourism Express. My name is Zakia Laki and today we'll be discussing women in tourism. But before we get to that, we've been going through religious tourism and highlighting, what the Muslims are having as Ramadan and also giving you a brief background about the Gaddafi Mosque. And there's been so much that has been discussed, the background, how it came into existence, the interior and the inside, what it means, how and where it's gotten from, and also giving you all that you need to know about it. And we like that we got feedback from you people regarding the same topic. On X, we received a comment from Yasin Ali Hakim too, who said, many times I visited the masjid. Such information is not recorded or told. And thank you for sharing, Zakia Laki. The management should work on the matters of customer care in the tourism house. And more detailed information should be provided in written books. Thank you. Yes, so we continue to ask you to bring in that feedback because it is you that we serve, and we continue to share and know about what you think so that we get to deliver the very best from you. Now, over the years, tourism has been known for the main sector, but this time round we have women that have taken up spaces, and it's nice that we've tried to actually penetrate in so many sectors as women. But today we'll be discussing women in tourism. How have they impacted communities and the world? We are celebrating International Women's Day tomorrow worldwide, but today we'll start with our women in Uganda, and I have a very beautiful guest on set today with me who is going to be helping us digest this topic. We are so privileged to have you, Dolly.
Thank you, Zakia.
Oh, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
You look so beautiful this morning.
Oh, thank you. I'm a Hajat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, please introduce yourself to the viewers.
Hi, my name is Dolly. My name is Dolly Khan. CEO, founder of Big 7 Africa Travels. So I'm one of the ladies here in tourism.
Yes, I like what you've been doing in tourism. I have been seeing you put up and sharing your experiences on social media, and to those that have not traveled, I think they've had a chance to see what we have in this beautiful country because of what you put out there. You are quite inspiring and community, and as a woman, today maybe you can tell us what inspired you to join the tourism industry.
Well, first of all, I'm a people person. I have passion in tourism. I think since my childhood, I loved adventure. When I was a kid, like from primary to high school, I was in Girl Scout. We used to go for camping at cars. So I loved adventure, and I loved traveling with family. So yeah, and I'm so connected to nature as well. I love nature. And being a people person, I like interacting with different people, like different cultures, to get to understand people in this world. Yeah, that is how I got inspired.
And how have you found the industry as a woman?
What can I say? Finding the industry as a woman, I don't find anything like it's different. I don't know, because I feel like we also have a right and we fit in. What men do in tourism, even women can do it. So we are also good in tourism. By the way, actually the best, if given a chance as women. And you can see today what women are doing in tourism, especially in Uganda or maybe Africa as a whole continent, and the cultures those days about women and what, staying at home. So today, women are doing well, actually better, if I could say.
Absolutely. I've been seeing you so much into marketing holiday destinations. And how do you find it when you're marketing these destinations on your safaris, both locally and internationally?
How do I find...
How do you find marketing these holiday packages on your safaris, locally and internationally?
Yeah, I travel. Of course, I have to go there.
Yes.
Yeah, I cannot... I have a policy. I don't like selling places that have not been there. First of all, I'm a tour operator, and I like assuring my clients I don't want to do business with too much politics, and I sell a place which I'm not sure of. I like going there. I go to be there on the ground. I experience the comfort of the accommodation, the meals, the activities. That's why if you follow my social handles, you can see most of my content I'm always in. That is how I do it, so that, you know, most of my clients feel comfortable to book with me, because they know, oh yeah, even Dolly was there. So if she tells us this place is nice, we know she has been there. So that is how I do it. I have to travel. I have to be to destinations that I've not been to, because I have to market them for tourism business. Yeah.
And what are some of the strategies that you use while marketing these destinations, besides you being there to, of course, give first-hand information?
The ones that I can't be there?
Yes.
Yeah, of course, through social media platforms, communicating with the business partners. Let's say if it is like out of the country, like let's say Dubai, selling Mombasa, Zanzibar and what, we usually have business partners in tourism. So we communicate through emails and what, details and rates and everything. So it is always, at the end of the day, today's world and business, it is easier to use social media platforms. Yeah, that is how you can handle business nowadays. Yeah.
There are so many young women out there that also want to penetrate the industry just like yourself, and they're trying probably on social media or even wanting to give first-hand information, but maybe they don't have the funds to get there, to collect it. So how have you made it on your end?
About the funds, to be honest, I mean, in Uganda, it's not easy. Especially with our industry, there is less support. I really don't understand how we can do that. I reached a point, I do my own things. Most of us, by the way, I'm speaking for most of the tour operators that I interact with, not only tour operators, by the way, the tourism players in the industry. We get a challenge, especially things to do with finance. You know, the loans, they are high loans and, you know, a lot of things. So we reach a point that you have to do things on your own. You find your own money, and you do your own things, you plan your own things, and you do your own business. So I've also been interacting with young people, especially like these young girls who are coming up in tourism, like the Miss Tourism, like, you know, they are lacking a lot. You know, I've ever spoken to one of the girls who was in this Miss Tourism and she wanted to go and do some community work promoting tourism from their home village. But then she did not even have any support, like funds or what. She had to take a bus, you know, from her own pocket and everything. So, I mean, there is a lot lacking. We are not, you know, I don't know. I don't want to go there so much. I really don't want for now. But there are so many challenges when it comes to funds, especially in tourism. At least they would sit and see where, I mean, to give it to the right people when it comes to funds. Yeah, because there are so many people who are doing well, who have potential in tourism. Young people especially, like you, Zakia, of course, you are one of them. But then you find that they are giving it to the wrong people, especially now, like, can I bring an example of Explore Uganda?
Sure.
Explore Uganda. You find that they leave people like Zakia, like these tourism, young people, tourism, social media influencer, content creators. I don't know why they at some point explore Uganda and then they leave such people. Then you find they are taking people who are not even in tourism. They don't even have an idea about tourism. They cannot go and market places. They just go for those trips, come back, and then inclusive. The musicians, honestly, artists, yeah, they are the ones who get that money. Why don't I get that budget? I say, okay, Explore Uganda. Let me put in Zakia. Let me put in Rachel Akidi. Let me put in Mchiga Traveler. All these people will come back and put up good content about tourism. Yeah, now you tell me, the people who go, when they come back, how much content do you see? How much, even if they post pictures, what kind of captions do they put? So I think they really need to sit and revise about that if we are going to make tourism great in Uganda.
I've seen you've traveled to a number of places, and when we are going back, you said funds are so hard, especially on a young person that is just trying to come up in the industry. How did you start personally?
I started in the beginning, especially I started traveling on my own, like family travels. I would, after my tourism study anyway, I started by contacting one-on-one, especially the directors, sometimes the managers of destinations. So I would just use my professional. I was a freelance, by the way, before I registered a company. So I would just go there, do business with them. And they would even give me an STO rate, which is known as a tour operator rate. So that is how I would be posting my own content, sell a place, I get my clients, and I make my money slowly by slowly. That is how I started registering, guys. I really did things on my own. Yeah. Not with any tourism funds or something. No, I didn't. By the way, it has been a long journey. And with tourism, it's not like this other business that you'll open up, boom, a shop and it starts, bringing in money. But with tourism, it's a long journey. And you really need a lot of money. That is, with tourism, it's not about needing money, but a lot of money. It's endless. Yeah.
Uganda is so big on culture and agro-tourism.
Yes.
And I've seen with your profile, there is an expertise of that, or even your experience. I've seen pictures of you visiting places and be a part of culture. How can this be grown? Because on a larger scale, we've seen wildlife mostly out there. So how can Uganda, or as a woman in tourism, grow the agro-tourism sector or culture?
Yeah, in Uganda, we are still lacking about culture and agro-tourism. And remember, Uganda is the basket of Africa when we come to agro-tourism. We have culture, we have so many tribes in Uganda, and remember, each tribe in Uganda has its own culture. So we are rich by those two, if we tap into them. I'm happy that people have started bringing up culture and agro-tourism, because way back we used to know about, people used to think here in Uganda tourism is only about safaris and maybe ginger, the water sport. Water sports and what activities. But then we need to continue promoting culture. And in culture, by the way, in Uganda by then, I could only see the Buganda everywhere at the airport. It's Buganda tradition dance. You understand? As if it is the only tribe or two tribes then with Karamajong. It would look like Karamajong, are they trying to be like Kenyans with the Maasai? But then we have Acholis, we have Basoga, we have Bachiga. You understand, there are so many tribes, they are rich. If only people would continue, if Zakia, where you come from, go promote culture. Everyone in tourism, I beg you, when you go back to your villages, whether it's on Christmas or Easter or Eid, walk around, find community, try to encourage them about showcasing culture, find out how you are trying to do it. And it's the matter of training the community. And agro-tourism, we have a lot. Yeah, now there is this, I move a lot. I've been to Ewafe culture. I've been to some other cultural places like the last year, recently I was at, have you ever heard of Ik community?
Oh yes, I have.
Yes, in Karamoja. For me, it was my first time. I only do the Karamajong warriors. But then there's this nice Ik community, in Kabong. You know, those are the communities we have to bring up. You know, it's interesting, it's really fun, it's a good experience. You understand? Selling cultures are rich in Uganda. So that is how people have got, I mean.
Talking about the Ik, when I also got to know about them, it was actually my very first time. I was surprised. I always heard about Karamoja and just thought it's like one of those people, but I didn't know they had other people like the Ik amongst them. But when you talk about culture, it's actually something big.
Yes.
And, I would like you to break it down. If you are in a community and you want to promote culture, what exactly are you looking at?
And I want to promote culture. For me, as me, usually even if I'm going on a safari, let's say, I'll give you an example, I'm in Kidepo. You understand? We need to learn how to sell these packages to sustain tourism and so that it benefits the community, you know, and everyone in the industry. So when you go to Kidepo National Park, you'll do the game drive, and then there will also be an activity of this Rolokul community.
What is that?
It's a Karamajong community. It's called the Rolokul people. They are found in Kidepo, inside Kidepo National Park. So you see that community, the tourism benefits, especially like the UWA, Uganda Wildlife, benefits from that community. And the community also benefits from the tourists. Because when we go there, we visit them, we pay, we tip. If you want to take there some things, for me usually when I'm going for such places, I usually even encourage people to carry some goodies, a little, I mean, anything to give back to these people. So, going for these activities, if you are going to Jinja, for example, like, let's say, for the water activities, go visit, even extend, go to Kagulu Hill. That is culture. Visit Kagulu Hill, there are people there, there is a community. Support the community. When you are in Queen Elizabeth, look at the community. You know, when you support these communities, then there won't be a conflict between wildlife and the communities. You understand? And then the tourists, they like giving them, you know, you make the package fruitful for them. You are taking them on a safari, then do also a community culture around that place. Know that in this national park there is this tribe of people. It's very important, and I think that is how it's supposed to be done. For me, that is how I believe.
It's obviously a great experience. Now, what are some of the unique contributions that women are adding on to the tourism sector?
You know, when it comes to business, and when women have put their foot down, women are so aggressive in business, given an opportunity, they are accurate, and they like doing their things properly. And within the industry, they've really done a lot. And with tourism cannot work without women. Because women are naturally created with hospitality. We learn hospitality from home. Trained as girls, how to welcome, to receive visitors at home, and then to our own homes, even if you are in a family, you are the mother or the wife, even if it's a child or a husband has hosted guests, they will always come to the woman. I have guests now. What are you cooking? You are the one who will know how they are supposed to eat, where they are going to sit, whether it's clean, everything, and you are the welcoming person. You are the first person. That's why you see, even in most lodges, I think 90% of lodges, you always find the housekeeping part is always the female. The housekeeping, it's always the women who will come, clean the rooms, make your bed. It's always the women, and you know that it's always the first thing at a destination is your comfort, and your comfort is your bed, your bedroom, and it is always, mostly it's always women who are always in the housekeeping department. So women have really done a lot. They have really done a lot, and they are doing it. I'm glad that they have that confidence and aggressiveness in tourism business, and I hope, given a chance, they will even do better, including you, the young girls who are already shining in tourism.
Absolutely. It takes me back to this saying of behind every successful man is a woman.
Yep.
So in this aspect is behind every successful tourism venture. There are women that are playing a bigger role in inspiring, creating opportunities, innovation, and doing so much more. But then are there like challenges you faced in the industry in regards to your journey as a woman?
Yes. There are so many. There are so many, and I'm not even talking about myself alone, because we interact with other women in tourism. We talk about our challenges, mostly about financial challenges, like I told you about the loans. The loans are high. Things like at least they would be, and we are not even noticed yet as women in tourism as a whole. I'm not saying like in positions and what, no, but women, it would be nice if they would have, by the way, like I've told you about this Explore Uganda thing, they do it each year. Let them get a year and they say, okay, this time we are sponsoring women in tourism. And you tell Bizakia, including you, let's go down there. Let them take us. Let them take us to a destination. And you see how we are going to make tourism great. Because for us women, if they do that, they instead of spending that money on those musicians and what, who don't even know about anything about tourism, for us, we will go there and put an impact to the community. We will go train the community. You know, there are communities which are there, they have farms, culture and what, and these cultures, by the way, that I'm talking about, if you've seen even my IK community content or Ewafe culture content, it is always the women who are always there in these activities. They are the ones who play the biggest role in these communities and what, the culture and what, it's always the women. So some women are lacking down there in the village. Why don't we share money or business in tourism with them? We can partner with them if we train them well how to make money in their communities. We are like, look, you should do this and this, and then you'll start earning money. We can be bringing you clients. So you add that activity on your itinerary for your clients. So that is what I'm saying, Zakia. If they would consider such things, they would consider like fair loans, for women businesses. And you know, there are some women, most women who are really trying, and they are single mothers, by the way. The ones I know, it's also a big number. You find them surviving on this, they make this circle money. Is it kibina? This kibina money.
Yes.
Others are many. They tell you they get it at the end of the year. At the end of the year, imagine you are a woman. Maybe you are a single mother renting. You know, you have kids, you have school fees and what. Then how will you put in money in your tourism business to make it work? Because with tourism you need money, you need to travel, you need to put in money everywhere you start up. You understand? They would at least make something for women. I mean, like, let them give them a chance. Give us a chance, including you, the young girls, from the young girls in tourism to us, the women. They should give us in the industry, by the way, the industry. Let them just give us 2 buses and give us accommodation. I believe that budget is there. Accommodation, meals, what, and we do our activities. We come back, we sell tourism. And you know, between me and you, Zakia, you know, our force is great when we decide to work as a team. Yeah, so that's it.
It is nice that you've been a part of all of this, especially when you travel and be a part of the community. Have you seen impact that has been created, especially for you, the women that have been in the industry and have been exposed already? When you go there and engage these women on ground, do you have testimonials of when I was visited by such a woman, probably a big figure in tourism, I was impacted this way and I'm doing better now?
I'll say there are many. Okay. There are many. They are trying, but still they lack funds. They will always tell you, oh my God, I'm trying this, but then I'm lacking funds. But then you see they are inspired by the training. And then there are also these ones who are already doing well. They are getting there. They are already... you see now, like the women in tourism, who I mean, like supporting them, like taking clients and selling them, market them. Yes, like for example, the women at Wafe Culture. Yeah, look at how Aisha has trained those ladies. They are doing it with passion. They are really doing it with passion. They know, the dollies are coming, the guests, they are coming, it's going to be fun. You know, we sit together, we do things together. And mostly, like in farm trips, for us tour operators, mostly, we are invited on farm trips, and these farm trips where we are invited, our job is to go and tell them what they have to do or what they've done well and how they are supposed to improve in such and such an area. So that also is something that we impact. Yeah.
Okay, so what is that one thing that you'd like to pass on as we get to the climax of this show that you need any woman in tourism to get to know or understand or even learn from you?
To get any woman to learn from me?
Yes, any closing remarks or anything that you would want any woman in tourism to learn from you?
Yeah, I guess I'm doing well. That is what I believe, because me, I love tourism. So I hope, especially the young girls in the industry, I would like to inspire them, because in tourism you have to learn the business side of it, excuse me, and you also have to have passion and patience in tourism if you want to make it beautiful and correct. So you need passion, you need the business, you need honesty, you need patience. Those 4 things, then you are good to go. But then tourism is a journey.
Yeah.
We always learn every day, by the way. Even if we've studied tourism, but still we learn every day. Every day we learn new things. So I would advise them that you don't put business first in tourism, like focusing on how you are earning money. When you do that, then you are off. You could maybe annoy people you won't be, clients or tourists. You won't have that patience, and that is how you lose clients or tourists, because you are like, I know so many people who came in as business minded, how they hear, we see tourism is booming. They say when you do tourism business, they go and invest in tourism. At the end of it, they are like, I didn't make money, blah blah, they drop it. So you have to come in with passion. For me, if you see me the way I'm in tourism and I'm not a millionaire or billionaire in tourism, but I enjoy every bit of it. It's a long journey, and you have to come in with passion. And the good thing, I'm glad, the young team that have been, I interact a lot with the young people in tourism, but I am so proud of them. I know they will go places in tourism.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm getting to learn that you do not come with a business mind when you're penetrating tourism. It's been quite a very interesting conversation, and stick with us next week as we get to give you more of what is happening in the tourism industry, what you can learn. And today it was about women in tourism. There's so much impact that we've put on the table, and let's keep prospering. Thank you, and I remain Zakia Laki.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
International Women's Day is celebrated annually on 8th March. It is a time to reflect on progress made, to call for change, and to celebrate acts of courage and determination play by women. On Saturday, 8th March, Uganda will join the rest of the world to commemorate International Women's Day. The national celebrations will be held in Changwanzi district under the theme Accelerate Action for Gender Equality. The President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will be the chief guest. Join us for the live broadcast to witness outstanding women receive medals in recognition of their achievements and contributions to the country. Happy Women's Day.
Feel the passion of Europe's top soccer league.
Romelu Lukaku!
20 teams battle to win.
And now Dusan Vlahovic! Rafael Leao!
The iconic Serie A Championship trophy.
Barella! Beauty!
This is Serie A, the home of culture.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, every story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Welcome back from that conversation with Zakia Laki and Dolly Khan in celebrating women in tourism. My name is Julie F. Nantaba Mosisi, and thank God it's a Friday. That means welcome to GMU Movies. And also welcome back from the week that has been the week of the Oscars. The Academy Awards took place in Los Angeles, and it's so Anora scooping most of the accolades, but also Conclave and The Brutalist, as well as Wicked and Emilia Perez also took prizes, as that now ushers us into what movies to look forward to. And starting off with Last Breath. Last Breath is a 2025 survival thriller, film directed by Alex Parkinson and written by Parkinson, Michelle Lafortune, and David Brooks. It stars Woody Harrelson, Simu Liu, Finn Cole, and Cliff Curtis. It is a feature film remake of the 2019 documentary that Parkinson co-directed with Richard Da Costa, and follows a group of deep-sea divers who race to rescue a stranded teammate after an accident. Now, the film was theatrically released in the United States and United Kingdom on 28 February by Focus Features and Entertainment Film Distributors, respectively, and it received generally positive reviews from critics. Now, its plot is Chris Lemons, Duncan Alcock, and David Uwasa are members of a team of saturation divers who work to maintain undersea gas lines in the North Sea. While on rotation, they and their fellow divers live on board a vessel in pressurized chambers, which simulate conditions similar to those found approximately 300 feet below sea level, the depth at which the divers work. The divers are transported to and from this chamber by a specialized diving bell, which is lowered to depth from the ship and allows the divers to remain at pressure for the entirety of their 4-week work rotation. During a deployment, Lemons and Uwasa exit the bell to begin work on an undersea gas line manifold, while Alcock remains stationed in the bell to monitor their status and distribute the umbilical lines that supply them with communication, power, and oxygen. Now, as you can see, you can take a look at what the preview is like. But
I will come back for you.
some of its cast: Woody Harrelson, who stars as Duncan Alcock, and Simu Liu as David Uwasa, Finn Cole as Chris Lemons, Cliff Curtis as Captain Andre Jensen, Mark Bonner as Craig, Mayana Baring as Hannah, Bobby Rensbury as Morag, Chris's fiancé. Now, production for this movie, it was in May 2022 when it was announced that Alex Parkinson was directing a narrative film remake of his 2019 documentary with Woody Harrelson, Simu Liu, and Jimon Hanso cast to star. Principal photography began in Malta in May 2023, with plans to run through July, with Finn Cole joining the cast. And in May 2024, Focus Features acquired distribution rights to the film in territories including the US, France, Scandinavia, Australia, New Zealand, China, Indonesia, Malaysia, South Korea, and Vietnam for $5 million, while Film Nation Entertainment co-financed the film and handled international sales. And Last Breath was released in Greece on 27th February 2025, shortly last month, and was released in the United States on 28th February 2025.
No, it's not.
Now,
I'm not losing a diver today.
Duncan! Dave! I can't see you!
I got an idea. We'll have to take control of the ship manually.
If we make a mistake, we put the entire ship at risk.
Come on!
This isn't working!
You can do this, buddy.
I'm with you!
Incoming swell. Brace for impact. Now! Now!
Chris! Diver! Where are you?
Thunderbolts, and this is from Marvel Cinematic Universe. Everything Marvel, well, you best believe that it is the best. But Thunderbolts is an upcoming American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics team Thunderbolts, and it's produced obviously by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. It is intended to be the 36th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the film is directed by Jake Schreier and written by Eric Pearson, Lee Sung-jin, and Joanna Carlo. It stars an ensemble cast featuring Florence Pugh, Sebastian Stan, David Harbour, Wyatt Russell, Olga Kurylenko, Louis Pullman, Geraldine Viswanathan, Chris Bauer, Wendell Edward Pierce, Hannah Jean Carmen, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. In the film, it's about a group of anti-heroes caught in a deadly trap and forced to work together on a dangerous mission. Now, Marvel Studios began teasing the formulation of Thunderbolts team within the Marvel Cinematic Universe in 2021, and the film was revealed to be in development in June 2022 when Schreier and Pearson were attached. The main cast was revealed in September with additional casting through early 2023. Now, Lee joined to rewrite the script by March 2023, one of the several creatives who returned to work with Schreier from the Netflix series Beef 2023 till present, that is, and production was delayed due to the 2023 Hollywood labor disputes, causing some cast changes in early 2024. Carlo joined by then for further rewrites, and filming took place in February to June 2024 at Trilith Studios and Atlanta Metro Studios in Atlanta, Georgia, and also in Utah. Now, its premise, it's about a group of anti-heroes that are caught in a deadly trap by Valentina Alguera de Fontaine and are forced into a dangerous mission that could bring them redemption if they unite as a team. You can take a look at what it's like, but also allow me to read the amazing cast. Florence Pug as Yelena Belova, Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes, David Harbour as Alexei Shostkavo, Red Guardian, and Wyan Russell as John Walker, the U.S. agent. Now, its development during the production of the Marvel Cinematic Universe film Guardians of the Galaxy 2014, the director James Gunn expressed interest in making a film based on Marvel Comics Team Thunderbolt and a group of anti-heroes and super criminals. And then Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige said this was a possibility based on the success of Guardians of the Galaxy. And by May 2021, Gunn was no longer interested in the idea after directing the DC Extended Universe film, that is the Suicide Squad of 2021. Because that team from DC Comics is based on a similar concept to Thunderbolts. In June 2018, Hannah John Kamen expressed enthusiasm for reprising her role of Ava Star, that is Ghost from the Marvel Cinematic Universe film Ant-Man and the Wasp 2018 in a potential Thunderbolts film, considering the comics version of Ghost is a member of the team. It is set to be released on May 2nd, 2025 in the United States, and it was previously scheduled for July 26, 2024 and December 20th, 2024, as well as July 25th, 2025.
This team can be the heroes on the Wheaties box with a little giddy toy.
Alexei, have you look forward to anything Marvel? But if you love more of your fiction, Mikey 17 is the movie that we're looking at next, and it's a 2025 science fiction dark comedy film produced, written and directed by Bong Joon-ho, based on the 2022 novel Mikey 7 by Edward Ashton. Now, the film stars Robert Pattinson in the title role alongside Naomi Aki, Stephen Yeun, Toni Collette, and Mark Ruffalo. Mikey 17 premiered at the 75th Berlin International Film Festival on February 15th last month, before being theatrically released by Warner Bros. Pictures in South Korea on February 28th and later on in the United States on March 7th. The film has received generally favorable reviews from critics, with many highlighting Bong's efforts and Pattinson's performances. Now, the plot is about Mikey Barnes and his friend Timo, who are financially destitute after a failed business venture. And on the run from a loan shark, unable to pay their debt, the pair sign up as a crew for a spaceship that leaves Earth to colonize the planet, Nilfheim. Timo as a pilot and Mikey as an expendable. As an expendable, Mikey is treated as disposable and given lethal assignments, since every time he dies, he is reprinted using cloning technology that has been banned on Earth. During the voyage, Mikey develops a romantic relationship with Nasha Bridge, a security agent. And the amazing cast for this one is Robert Pattinson as Mikey Barnes, Mikey 17, Mikey 18, an expendable employee of Nilfheim on his later 18th iteration. Naomi Aki as Nasha Bridge, a security agent, Mikey's love interest, and the girlfriend of one of his previous clones. Then Steve Yeun as Timo, a pilot and Mikey's childhood friend. Mark Ruffalo as Kenneth Marshall, and an egomaniacal politician with sinister designs for Nilfheim, and Toni Collette as Yifa, Kenneth Marshall's devious and controlling wife. Now, the production, filmmaker Bong Joon-ho and actor Robert Pattinson in 2025 went for a film adaptation of Edward Ashton's novel Mikey 7, and was announced to be in development prior to its publication in January 2022. With Bong Joon-ho writing, directing, and producing for Warner Bros., Pictures, and Robert Pattinson in talks to star. Charles Yu wrote additional literary material for the film. Bong was intrigued by the concepts presented in the book, and though he made many changes to the characters, including modifying Mikey's personality to be a little more simple-minded. He wrote the screenplay in 2021 based on an early draft of the book and said that none of the characters portrayed were meant to be mirroring active politicians. Robert Pattinson was the first actor to come to mind to a performance that required dual roles, and he agreed immediately to take the role after being offered. Pattinson improvised many lines as Mikey 18, who starts with an aggressive personality, then grows as a person who wants to protect Mikey 17. Now, Mikey 17 premiered at the 75th Berlin International Film Festival last month on 15th February, and before opening in South Korea last month again at the end, 28th February, and a week before its global rollout. Well, that's GMU movies. Hopefully you are looking forward to those that are yet to be released, but for those that are released already, hopefully you're looking forward to having a good weekend with them while you relax and wind down and reboot for the new week. Good Morning Uganda does continue. My name is Julie F. Nantaba Musisi, and Ruben is up next with some sports action.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
International Women's Day is celebrated annually on 8th March. It is a time to reflect on progress made, to call for change, and to celebrate acts of courage and determination play by